I held her close to me as we took in the scenery around us. The sun setting painted the sky in a beautiful orange. The breeze felt cool against our skin, and as the day approached nightfall, everything was perfectly peaceful, just how I'd imagined it. For a while, we both sat silently on the bench overlooking the park before us as we drank in the moment. To my surprise, though, Amy broke the silence between us by lifting her head from my shoulder, looking me directly in the eye and saying, "I'm so glad I could do this with you, Stephen. Really, I am. Everything about tonight has been so perfect, and I wouldn't have it any other way." I met her gaze, smiling. I chuckled slightly, and before I could stop myself, the words just came pouring out of me. "I couldn't agree with you more. Everything about this night truly has been nothing but perfect, and there's no other girl I'd rather spend time with but you. God, I love you so much, Amy." And before I knew it, in the next moment, our lips were intertwined in the most magical kiss of my life. Having her lips pressed against mine was an experience that left me breathless and caused butterflies to twist my stomach into fluttery knots. 3 months earlier, I see Amy walking towards her locker with a handful of books under her arms, and my heart begins racing nervously inside my chest. "Now's your chance, Stephen," rang a voice inside my head. "If you don't tell her you love her, how will she ever know? When would she ever know? You don't want to let that chance go unless you're content with allowing it to eat away at you for the rest of your life." Gaining my composure, I start walking in her general direction, but just as I'm about to approach her, something stops me. Now isn't the right time. It was better to wait until a more perfect moment came along. And with that, I chickened out and abandoned my mission. 2 weeks ago. My hand trembles as my fingers hover above my phone screen, hesitating over what I should say in my text message to Amy. "Just get it over with, Stephen," rang a voice in my head. "If she rejects your invitation to take her to dinner, it won't be the end of the world." Feeling brave, I typed up my message, proofread it, and nervously clicked send. Ironically, not long after my text delivered, Amy began typing a reply, and when I received her message, my heart leapt with joy. "Amy, sure, I'd love to. I can't wait." Smiley face. I subconsciously felt joy and confident all over again. It was settled. I'd be going out to dinner with Amy in a little under 2 weeks, and the prospect of doing so filled me with intense giddiness. I'm just relieved that the girl I'd been crushing on for so long doesn't perceive me as some huge dork. A few hours ago. "Where are you going, stud?" I turn towards the entryway of our house and meet my mother's gaze just as she's coming downstairs. "Mom, did I not tell you I was going on a date tonight?" I ask. She smiles. "Oh yes, you did. With Amy, right? The girl you've been crushing on forever at school? How cute. Well, have a good time, hon. I'll most likely be asleep by the time you return." My face grows hot. I smile. "Sure thing. Thanks, Mom. I'll make sure to keep quiet when I get back so that I don't wake you." I then wave goodbye and head out the door where my car sat parked in our driveway. I open it, turn on the ignition, and shortly after slipping on my seatbelt, I pulled out the driveway and began making my way over to the restaurant where I'd meet Amy. Excitement coursed through me as I drove, and I knew then that tonight was going to turn out wonderfully. Present moment. We spent the next several moments kissing as we sat on the bench overlooking the park, seemingly unable to keep our hands off of one another. After we broke apart, I met her gaze again and whispered, "Forgive me if I'm being too forward, but I've liked you for a while now, Amy, and I'm so glad that I was able to tell you so tonight." She chuckled. "Well, I'm glad you felt brave enough to, and that you didn't keep this all to yourself. In fact, I thought your confession was kind of cute. You're not being too forward whatsoever. You have nothing to worry about because I'm not going anywhere. Not if you want me to, at least." "Good," I replied. We then resumed our makeout session for a while longer, finally pausing when the sun had completely set. Figuring it was time to head our separate ways, we reluctantly said goodbye before going in opposite directions. The good news is that, before we left, We made plans to hang out with one another again outside of school in the near future, and I was ecstatic knowing that seeing her would become a regular thing. I'm honestly relieved that things between us went so well and that she didn't think that me confessing my love for her was done too soon, given that I'd only known her for a little under a year. The crazy thing was, upon first meeting her, I was already smitten and knew that I wanted to confess my feelings for quite some time now, and I'm glad I finally felt courageous enough to make it happen tonight without bailing like I had several times before. It's safe to say that reaching this point has taken me on an interesting journey nonetheless, but it's something I'm wholeheartedly content with, seeing as, in the end, it's what worked best for me and landed me a chance with the girl I'd spent the past several months pining after like the cliche hopeless romantic that I am. But it's an ending I'd willingly take in a heartbeat.